Welcome back to OK TV. Now, we've still got plenty of celeb news to come.
Later on, we'll be hearing from Dominic Cooper about his venture into the world of animated films.
But first, let's talk about love, shall we? Shall we talk about love?
Let's do it.
There's speculation that Jude Law has been in touch with his ex-girlfriend, Lily Cole.
This follows the breakdown of his relationship with Sienna Miller, who he'd previously been engaged to and broken up with before.
But he's not the only celebrity tempted to rekindle a past romance. Going back to your ex works for some, but it doesn't work for others, guys. It doesn't work for everybody, not at all. So is it a good idea? Here's Julie.
Jude Law certainly seems to be in the habit of rekindling old romances. After splitting from Sienna Miller in 2006, the pair got back together last year, before breaking up once again in February. And to help him get over the heartbreak, Jude is now rumoured to have turned to another of his old flames, the lovely Lily Cole. So, is it ever a good idea to go back to an ex, or is it better to move on to pastures new?
If they've changed, not for me. If they've changed, then yeah, maybe, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, but people don't change just
No,
like
but
that,
sometimes you break up for the wrong reason.
True love doesn't exist. You have to make it happen. It's a magic where you have to put in a lot of yourself. You don't want to waste yourself on the same person every time.
It was the worst thing that could happen to me, but I just got one thing good out of it, which is my son. Yeah, but the rest, it was just a terror.
If they left, there's a reason why they left, and it's better not get them back.
Can you imagine on my wife's birthday giving an interview about my exes? No thanks.
Have you ever got back with an ex before?
Well, yeah, she's now my wife.
Well, Jude's not the only one to play the X-Files. Dougie Pointer from McFly and Frankie Sanford from The Saturdays got together in 2008, but they split up in March last year. They then reunited a few weeks later, but it didn't last, and they separated again in November. It was reported that Frankie dumped him both times and Dougie ended up in rehab. Lady Gaga has also been on and off with her boyfriend Luke Carl. They met in April 2006, but split when she hit the big time in 2008. They got back together though in June last year. And of course, Prince William and Kate Middleton have split up in the past. The couple broke up in April 2007, but despite rumours that they got back together, a whole year went by until they officially stepped out in public as a couple at William's RAF graduation. Definitely proof that going back to an ex can go right. So lots of people do it, but how do you make sure you move forwards when you go back to an old flame?
All right, then, it's a tough question, and who better to discuss this with than the relationship expert extraordinaire, Simone Bienne.
Hello. Quite the introduction.
It is. It's
No pressure.
You deserve this introduction. So, is it right for people to get back with their exes?
I think that's a really difficult question to answer because people get back with their exes for a variety of reasons. The first reason could be that they are genuinely meant to be back together. It could be a fear of change. It could also be difficulty in moving on. And also another explanation could be down to brain chemistry.
A bit of science.
A bit of science, because scientific studies on the brain have shown that when you split up, the craving that you feel is actually similar to a craving that you feel when you're trying to overcome an addiction. So you can understand why somebody would want to jump back into a relationship to satisfy those intense feelings and that intense craving.
A bit like when I just need to eat chocolate.
Exactly.
Just kind of need that other person.
Or that glass of red wine.
Yeah, I experience that often.
Yeah.
Well, for me personally, I did get back with an ex. My current boyfriend, we split up for just a short period because of external circumstances. Distance, I'd started a new job, and it was a case of, I think, the right person but the wrong time. And don't you think, Simone, sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder? If you've been away from someone, you can get back together and be even stronger?
I think definitely, because once you've had that space, you really are giving yourself time to work through, do I really want this? Am I just pining for that person because I'm lonely, or actually is it that person themselves that
How do you
I'm
separate
really
the two?
interested in? Well, you separate the two by giving yourself space. I see so many people who say, oh, I really, really want to be back with my ex. Well, what do you actually like about them? What did the relationship look like? Did the relationship make you feel good at the time? And if they say, well, no, actually, it's because they're lonely. So you've got to be able to look at, can I spend time with myself? If you spend time with yourself and you still then miss that person, then I think that your relationship has a good chance. And I think look at William and Kate. They had that time apart.
I forgot they even split up.
I know, and even to an extent Prince Harry and Chelsea, but we'll see what happens there. But with William and Kate, they spent that time apart, which I think really made them recognise, no, this is a relationship that's worth fighting for.
And they've had a happy ending. So
I suppose each to their own as well. Different situations, like you said, it was outside circumstances. It could be. So, what is the difference between if somebody went out with somebody for 6 years, 6.5 years possibly, and or like 6 months? So, is it different strengths of this pulling power to get back with each other? Or?
I think when you've been out with each other for 6.5 years, then what you're looking at is you've been through the emotional seasons together. And there's more of a chance that actually, if you really want to be with that person and you've had a break and you've been through all the honeymoon phase and you still want to commit on to that relationship after 6 years, then I think your relationship's got a good chance. After 6 months, chemically, you can just be missing the infatuation phase.
The honeymoon period.
The honeymoon period, where your body flushes you with these amazing love cocktails to help you attach to that person. And that's why we feel so very loved up in the first 18 months.
What are the risks, though, of going back with somebody?
Well, because often you usually split up for a good reason. And again, talking about if you're feeling lonely, you could think, oh, I just want to get back with that person because I'm a little bit bored. So then the relationship, you're back to where you started, aren't you? You know,
same arguments.
Same old problems. If you do get back with somebody, I think the biggest thing that you should do is talk about why you split up in the first place. So then you're not carrying on from where you left off, you're actually thinking, okay, how can we recreate this new relationship? How can we move forward? And I think that's really key.
And sometimes if you're going to give it another go, you need to leave things in the past, because say you've been the one doing the splitting up, as in my case, if that other person was constantly reminding you about that once you got back together, then it's not really going to work, really.
Yeah, and often you can get back together when there's been cheating involved. And well, and it's the same thing, it's just a sort of slightly bigger version that you spoke about, Kate. And give yourself 10 minutes every single day for the next week where he can say, I can't believe you dumped me. And then after a week or a month or whatever you decide, time out. That is the time then to move forward.
Right, we asked people on Twitter on what they thought about this, and Tanya says, an ex is an ex for a reason. If it didn't work out the first time, it certainly isn't going to work out for the second time around, which is a fair point.
It's quite a hot topic. Robert disagrees. He says on Twitter, I'd like to think it could work, giving it another go with an ex. I personally really do wish this. I'm really missing mine. Oh.
Simone, how would you summarise this?
What's the advice?
Give yourself some time out. Give yourself time, and then time to lick your wounds, and don't be hard on yourself. Love has made a fool out of us all, including the next person you meet. And just spend your time licking your wounds and eating chocolate, as Kate said.
All you need is love.
Exactly.
And
all you need is love.
And love yourself.
And a glass of wine occasionally.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Simone. Great to see you, as always.
Thank you very much. Now, the last time we saw Dominic Cooper was at the BAFTAs, where he was presenting an award with Rosamund. Is it Rosamund?
Rosamund.
Rosamund, thank you very much, Pike. And it's fair to say it didn't go that well.
But just before they took to the stage, Rosamund decided to change their script, but ended up fluffing her lines and nearly announced the winner at the wrong time. I remember this so well. Jonathan Ross saved the day by jumping in, but poor old Dominic couldn't get off the stage quick enough.
And now I can't say that I've ever messed up any of my lines, but we sent Ruth to see whether she'd recovered from that BAFTA disaster and to find out about his latest film.
Hurry! He's gaining on us! Quickly! Here!
Really nice to meet you. In this film, you play Sammy the Turtle.
I do.
The cutest animated character ever.
I'm glad you think
Is
that.
that why you did it?